into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, no, not welcome back. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV Sense8 After Show. We're covering Season 1, Episode 1. What was that?
I'm so scared.
Me too.
Limbic Resonance. I am your host, Alexis Torres. I am joined by these two handsome, amazing, over-the-moon, fantastic
shucks.
people
That's
over
too
here.
sweet.
I like the way it's going.
Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Cameron Louis at The Only Camshaft on Twitter and Instagram.
What's going on, guys? I'm Nicholas Grava at Nicholas Grava on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am A Torres 890. You can follow us all over the social media sites and the interwebs. Go to AfterBuzzTV.com. You can also go to YouTube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Tweet or go to iTunes, SoundCloud. You can find us everywhere. And a new spot.
And we actually have a new spot. We love that you guys, we love when you tweet at us. We love when you leave us YouTube comments. We always like to hear from you. And now we have another chance. You guys can go to podcast1.com and fill out a quick survey, and you can review the shows, tell us what you like, maybe what you'd like to see some changes. Again, that's podcast1.com, and we greatly appreciate it if you would go check it out and say amazing things about all of us. Yeah.
That was so good.
Wow.
I loved every minute of that.
Oh my, this is going good.
I'm going right now. Are you kidding me?
Another place, obviously, you can talk to us is the live chat. One of us will be handling that. I have it up here right now.
Viewer from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank you.
Seth, Pretty Duchess,
Wow.
Garrett, I see you, and everybody else who's hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. And also, we're going to need all the help.
Oh my goodness.
'Cause-
I don't even know, like, I think the last show I did was like a reality show, and now we're diving into this, and whoa!
Yeah.
It's
I was-
Slightly
different
different.
animal.
Slightly different. Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's on a whole different level, but then again, it is, well, I can't say the Wachowski brothers anymore, but the siblings.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but I think they're awesome, and I think the show is going to it's going to make my brain into mush.
I'm so excited.
I am too.
I wanted to watch all the episodes. I'm just going to say it now. I am going to be watching week by week. I think we all are
Yes,
going to be
we
doing
all
that.
made that pact.
But it takes every single ounce of I just want to watch
And
it.
Netflix
I know.
teases you too. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
here we go. I've got a
15
countdown."
seconds, and I'm like, no.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course we have to start off with our weird intro. We had was her name Angelica or Angel?
Angel.
Yeah.
I believe it's
Yeah.
Angel. It may be Angel. I think it's...
Correct us in the chat.
Yeah.
We open up to her being on a mattress, and we can't really tell which one's real and which one isn't. Of her kind of looks like she was trying to fight something at
Yeah.
one point
Yes.
while she was laying on the mattress, and we find that she tried to put a piece of foil in her mouth.
I think it was some sort of drug. Is that what she
Yeah,
was?
I think it was some
Yeah.
sort of... It might have been a foil drug.
I don't know. I
don't
just know
know.
I saw the piece of foil,
Me
and
too.
then
Yeah.
she also found the gun underneath the box that was
Yeah.
under there, because obviously later on in the episode we find out there is a box of drugs there. So I
Yeah.
was kind of confused of what we were trying to do, but these are the guys that made the Matrix, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And we have our first character again that we don't know if it's real or not, Jonas.
Yeah.
Who was kind of trying to comfort her, and
He grabbed her hand. Her hand was up, sort of. I don't know. Was she reaching for him, or was it just coincidence that he was
I
grabbing
think she was
her
reaching.
hand? Okay,
I think she
was.
might. I wasn't sure if she was reaching for him specifically or just reaching for
For some
some
because
sort
she
of-
looked like she was in pain, so
Yeah.
it looked like she was trying to get some relief from that, and he was there to help her.
Absolutely.
But of course, as they're talking, it seems like that that she's trying to reach some sort of goal in any way, shape, or form. This other guy just kind of pops up from like her shoulder,
What
like,
in the hell?
"No."
Yeah.
I didn't understand what he was trying to do. I thought at first it was kind of like a devil angel kind of thing.
It seemed like it because Jonas kept saying fight him off, and she said, I
Yeah.
don't know, I'm not strong enough, I can't do it. You don't need to be here. And it did seem they definitely weren't on the same side. That's all I know
No.
for sure.
No, and I could again because they were cutting. There was in between cuts of her being by herself and then her with both of them in the room. I couldn't. I was having a really hard time trying to figure out which one was real and which one wasn't. But then we kind of figured that out because when she sits up And again, I don't know the man who has the white beard that comes in with a bunch of goons. I don't even know if they were like military.
Just his bodyguard.
The posse.
Yeah.
The posse, heavily armed entourage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, this is a totally different entourage that comes in, and then of course she blows her brains out.
Yep.
Right.
Which he
What
did
a way
not
to start
want.
a show.
Yeah. Well,
That was in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's so them though, because the Matrix was the same way.
It is.
Had with
I mean, here's the thing too. I saw a lot of people online, and I think we all can agree on this. A lot of people online were saying that they didn't like the opening because nothing was explained, and I was like, but that's why it was so good.
and that's what actually kept me wanting to
Okay,
watch.
see, I'm gonna take the other perspective, and
Really?
but here's the thing: I am the type of person when I watch TV, I don't like being taken out of the world, wondering what is this, what is this
Sure.
for.
Sure.
I like to know, and that way I can be invested. So in the beginning, I was a little bit frustrated. Not that I didn't like it, but I did have that frustration of, well, what the hell is this?
It's super
Can you
true.
tell me a little bit?
I know, and then of course we jump to, well, not jump to, but before she blows her brains out, we kind of see that she's trying to reach out to these 8 people, which we already knew that was
Yeah.
going to happen. And it was such weird circumstances because they weren't doing the things that they were doing in the beginning when we start introducing all our characters. Like she was just kind of like standing on a balcony or on a mountaintop or just like
Yeah.
creepily in the corner. But I love that. I was just like, oh, hey, look, a strange woman is staring at me. Like when I think our lesbian couple where her girlfriend was in the bath and she was like,
And she saw the reflection in the mirror.
Yeah,
That's
and
one
she
of the more
looked over and she's like,
terrifying
"What?"
ways, I think.
Tell
I
me
felt-
that- mirrors. Anytime I see a mirror in a show
mirrors.
like this,
Let me tell you.
anytime I see a show
Yeah.
that uses a mirror in this way, I'd never want to look in a mirror
Yeah,
again.
because all the other scenes were they were all outdoors, at least at one point.
Yeah, so you could think, oh, maybe this person is just
Like
on
a
the roof
homeless
alone
person.
with me. But in the mirror, no.
Well, yeah, because she's indoors. She's in their bathroom.
Yeah.
So it was really
It was
weird.
surprising to me that no one said anything. Like, no one at that, when they were first just flashing, no
Right.
one even called it out or did any sort of way of, that was surprising. Because I think me as a person or as wouldn't you kind of question it out? Like, what, did you ask people
don't
around
know.
you? Did you see that?
I feel like
it
I
was
would
a
be too freaked out.
yeah, I would be too freaked out and also just think,
Yeah, I mean, especially,
I saw somebody in a mirror. I mean, whatever.
That is
That
not
will
how
go
that
over
works.
really well.
Whatever.
I would do one of those, like, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You looking at me?
Yeah.
But of course, it doesn't make any more sense after we had our long around the world intro and awesome music, and then we cut to these 2 kids. Well, this little girl really creeped me out.
Little kids always
I was
creep
like,
me out,
nope.
and when they're like really quiet and just pointing and calling me.
But she was like speaking really low. Follow me, and I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
That was a good.
That was
thank you.
really good. I have to. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. Sorry, iTunes listeners,
kinda
if I
freaked
freaked you out.
out.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be over here.
I'm gonna just take a second.
But
it stop.
But it was very interesting how I'm trying to figure out what this little girl has to do with our cop Will, because it went from him following her, and then it cut back to him as an adult.
Yeah.
In his cop uniform, finding our victim, who obviously shot her brains out. And I was just like, I don't know how many times this poor woman had to sit up during this episode.
Oh my god! Every time someone
like,
would enter, she
dear
would
God.
just do that ride. I'm like,
She's
what a
got-
core
I
workout
was
for
gonna
the
say
actress.
her abs.
I
Flawless.
thought but the thing that confused me was like I thought she was already dead.
No, but I'm figuring that this is just
It's like the same time.
Yeah.
But okay.
No, I had that same confusion at
Yeah, I
first.
was like,
'cause-
so did she die yet?
Yeah.
Or
or was that a different? Does she even
Right.
exist in this? I don't know.
I feel like
know.
I feel like
Right.
because of the fact that she was able to kind of travel to them before
Yeah.
she shot her brains out, I feel like she's already left remnants of her in all 8 of
Oh,
them.
that's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Okay,
And at the
that's
same
a lot
time,
deeper
they're
than I was thinking.
I watched too much weird sci-fi
I was like,
stuff.
there's somebody in the mirror. That's the only thing I held on.
But at the same time, I like how they were already starting to connect already.
Yeah.
Like when he woke
Yeah.
up from his dream, he heard the music because obviously we saw.
That was trippy. Yeah.
Yeah, that she was in the when she was DJing in the club,
Yep.
and he can hear the music, and he was like, "Turn it down!" And he opened the door, and there's nobody there, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa." crazy. So I'm very intrigued to see what they do with this connection and how it's supposed to pan out. That's the giant question for me.
The thing that I kind of hope, and we saw this in this episode, was that it kept happening without the people knowing that it was going to happen. It came up at the most random times.
Yeah.
And so I hope that continues. I hope it's not something that they feel all of the time, or that they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
They
I hope
can't
it's
function,
still,
you're saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I hope it pops up at inconvenient times and they appear in each other's situations. You know what I mean?
Well, I kept thinking about that with the cop when he was approaching the young boy that was shot. I kept wondering, like, what happens if he suddenly goes somewhere else, or like, you know what I mean? Like, how
Ooh,
could
yeah.
it
That
start
would've
to
been really
interrupt their
interesting.
daily lives if he's out on the line, or if he's,
Right.
helping? I don't know. I started wondering that, so I do question how much they're gonna.
I feel like
allow
for
that.
drama purposes, they will probably do that because it will mess them up. Like, let's say maybe they're, since he is a cop, maybe if he's in an important stakeout or something
Yeah.
of that nature, maybe not the kid, but, later on in the season, something more important than that his partner's gonna be like, what's wrong with you? And then, I don't know, have some weird trippy dream of meeting people from London. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would like to just dabble into the cop a little bit more, and as much as we're not going to go in order, I'd rather stick with what Cameron said, where we're going to go by characters. Since there's so many characters, it's a little bit easier instead of going in order, just kind of dwelling on each one. So I want to start with Will. So obviously we know that he lives in Chicago. I believe it's Detroit. No,
Chicago.
no, Chicago, right?
Chicago,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I was making sure. I was like, wait a minute. Is he?
No,
Because
yeah.
at first I thought he was in Boston. That's what I thought.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just what I thought. But so he's in Chicago, and we find out that the reason he's in the force is because his father was killed by a bunch of gangsters, which is rough because in Chicago it's very dangerous there, especially from I don't know which part of town he's in. But at the same time, it looks like his partner is also kind of jaded from these
very,
gangsters. I was noticing as well, especially when shots were fired, and of course he was like, "I'm gonna save this kid," and he's like, "Why? He's just gonna kill
Right.
cops later."
I was really shocked by that scene.
Yeah, that's like a weird, like, "Hey, you're going to save the kid? Yeah, let's go get donuts and stuff."
Yeah.
I feel like, not to pitch another show, but another show that I'm watching on the CW, The Messengers, is where another cop who's been on the field for a long time. He's also seen a lot of evil, as he puts it. He would keep his wife and his kid indoors all the time. Like, he wouldn't let them out at all because of all the danger that he saw.
Okay.
So I see it as he was jaded from what he saw. So this cop is like, it doesn't matter whether the kid's 5 or 15, he's going to kill us at one point, so why save him?
Well, that's the same thing when he took him to the hospital, too, and we saw that the other perspective, which is pretty similar to his partners. I was like, hold up.
Which I think was more unexpected.
Yes,
that a
for
nurse,
me,
yeah,
That
for
a
a nurse
hot,
did-
without even a thought, it didn't even seem like she was torn in the beginning.
I know, but at the same time, it really shows you how dangerous this town is,
Yeah.
and the fact that they probably get gunshot wounds all the time.
Well, when she said our supply, we literally couldn't do anything else when we were taking gunshot wounds. It makes you think, oh, okay, then they're like, it's a tough choice. I don't know if I agree with it or not.
Well,
but
no, of course not. That's a kid.
Right.
I mean, whether he's 5 or 15, you should be able to open your heart to that. But I mean, I also understand that you're just doing your job.
Talk about a bad day for Will, though. Like,
he had a headache the whole
you wake
time.
up thinking you're
He's
crazy.
like, oh God, these neighbors. He opens the door, it's an empty apartment.
Yeah.
He's going, okay, I'm kind of insane.
That would be enough for me to just stay
But he thought it
indoors
was a
for
dream, though. Like,
Right.
like completely way out the gate, like that was a
Sure.
dream. And he's like, but it felt so real. But I understand that it's like, no, dude, it's a dream.
Right,
Like,
you just want to write it off. If
Yeah.
you've never experienced something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody in a mirror. That was a dream.
no, nobody's
He
standing
goes
there
down the
watching me.
street, goes with his partner, and the kid gets shot, and his partner gives him trouble for taking him to the hospital, goes to the hospital, the nurse says, oh, we saved him, but guess what? He's going to go kill somebody later, so bye. What a horrible day.
Yeah, and he had a headache the whole
They
time.
all, across the board, they all had the migraine going on.
Gosh.
Yeah, which I don't blame them. Because if you got 8
been there.
No. I mean,
do
you've
not
got
blame
8 brains connecting. That's crazy.
That's a lot
That's
to
a lot
comprehend.
to comprehend.
I'm usually.
I mean,
I'm just
apparently he
used
just
to three.
has. There you go. Apparently he just has dubstep just randomly going on in his head. That would
That
cause
would
anybody a
hurt.
headache.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Oh, man.
But of course we get to the point where which was the coolest scene I thought, was our DJ.
Riley?
Thank you. Our DJ, who I guess we can dabble into her now.
Yeah.
She is from the UK, I believe, from what I was getting at. and she's just apparently she has a connection through music, and her boyfriend and his weird thuggish goons, which I did not like them. I don't know. I didn't like them at all. Apparently they, you know who really creeped me out? The guy who had his hair greased back, who was just staring at her constantly. What was that about?
Wait, is that the guy that was talking about the limbic resonance and stuff? Yeah.
Is that Nyx? Is that who that person was?
I have no idea. I put him as the creepy perv. Like,
yeah, because he's coming up and he's like, "Yeah, I was talking to a doctor one time."
Yes. Oh man.
That's so gross. No, because like, and the funny thing is, like, even her own boyfriend was just kind of like, you know, just talking and excited, and he was just dead staring at her the whole time, and I was like, "All right, buddy, what do you want from her?"
Why would you want to hang out with that crowd?
Well, I mean,
don't see the appeal.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, remember when she was sitting there rubbing her head because she had the headache?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And she's just like, "Oh, it's just from all the drugs." And I was like, "Oh, okay, opening up that can of worms."
It's true.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's true.
And then of course we
She did say that.
she did. And then of course we get into where they're in looked like a really swanky hotel or suite or something like that upstairs. And they're all doing drugs, and of course our creepy pervy guy is like, "Oh, do you know?"
Well, but here's the thing with him. He, since the first scene that we saw him when she met him, he sort of was trying to act like he knew, because one of her friends told the guy about what she had. Oh, she felt like she saw something and this and that, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of this. I know about it."
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, "Oh, does he know what's going on?
No,
is he in
was
it?" And
just-
clearly,
he was just trying to. At first, I thought it was just trying to get in her pants, but apparently he was trying to steal something.
Well,
I was a little
felt bad
confused.
for the guy at the end.
Well, yeah, of course. I felt bad for all. I felt bad for all
you?
of them.
Well, I mean, that as well. But
Yeah.
he did say, I don't know. He kinda
So,
was
I
friendly
mean,
with her.
that was the one thing I was kind of concerned about, was because they're all connected. If she takes drugs, does that mean one of them is going to get high
I think
or
so.
affect their thoughts in any way, shape, or form? I don't know what you guys think.
But
also.
then again, I think that's something that will be answered the further we get with this. Because again, is this a thing that is always affecting everybody
Right.
True.
constantly, or is
Yeah.
it something that
and
will
what
just...
determines what will and what will
Right.
not?
Yeah, especially since even though yes, her getting high definitely broadened the fact that she was able to connect with Will.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was very interesting.
That
I
was
like,
one of my
that was
favorite
weird.
scene.
Yeah, it was-
when they were actually able to interact with each other and talk.
And that whole slow-mo scene of not knowing who was actually, like when she was being Will for a second, and then he actually saw her at the end when he got into the car and he looked up. I
And
thought
she
they
was
were gonna
grabbing towards the. You thought they were gonna do the. Oh, wouldn't that?
I was gonna be so cheesy about it, be like, touch hands. It's so weird. But I like that they were able to communicate, and she was like, "Oh my god, I'm in America." And I
Can
was
you imagine how difficult this show must be to edit and to
Oh
shoot
my!
and stuff?
That
Terrible.
scene when it went back from like in Chicago to London to here to that's crazy.
Like I could just
I mean,
imagine all
I'm
these
gonna-
people on set being like, "Oh, it's supposed to be. Well, no, it's him now. It's no, I don't know."
Right.
And then later, like that. Holy crap!
I
And
don't even know.
to my
No.
knowledge, it's filmed on location in
It
each
is.
place, which
Which
is
is-
really cool.
Which
I
I'm
think.
I'm gonna say
insane.
though, I'm gonna call BS at least on the
Whoa.
hotel part, because that could be filmed anywhere.
That could be
that's
filmed
probably not in
anywhere.
London.
Yeah, that could.
You're
be.
right.
That
That,
could be a
was
set.
my apartment.
Oh, I knew it.
They
I thought I
requested.
saw you in the background laughing at everybody
I was.
getting killed.
Slicking the hair back.
You're sick.
So gross.
But I love that she was so excited to be in America, even though she had no idea how she got there. She's just like, I'm in America.
oh, that, yeah.
Wouldn't you freak out more?
Yeah.
You saw a lady earlier in the day, and now you're like, oh, I've never been here. No, you're like, where am I? How did I get here? Is this real? Maybe
Oh
that's
my
just
gosh,
me
that
being
was-
crazy.
That was so fun. No, I would be on the same
Right?
boat
Oh
as
my
you, where I would be
God.
like,
She was like enjoying it too much.
she
I
was
felt.
smiling. I thought they were gonna do like a slow motion. Dun, dun, dun,
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's kind of a little
Like a-
thing to show you how much she wants to get out of her situation.
Well, no,
You
I
know what
mean,
Like,
even
if she
even at one
wants-
point when the boyfriend was trying to, say, "Oh, you're in this" or whatever. Didn't you want to go? Don't you want to go to America? I'm gonna, we're gonna get all this money from this
yeah.
guy, and we're gonna go. So obviously we
dream's
know that,
definitely there.
yeah, to
Yeah.
leave, but. Obviously, I don't think she wanted to leave under those circumstances. But I don't know how anybody else felt about this scene. But when he let her smoke out of the pipe, I thought he was gonna rape her right off the bat because
you
of how
did?
because of how creepy
I
he
thought
was.
something was gonna go down.
Yeah, like
I
I-
wasn't sure what.
I wasn't
but-
sure what he was I thought it was going to do something terrible to her.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
in my brain, he was like he was crouched next to her and he like was whispering in her ear, and I was like, oh my god, if she gets high, he's just gonna be like, rip.
Because the other two were like passed out on the couch.
Yeah. So there was no way, if he was gonna kill her or whatever. Like
Something
I knew
negative.
there was something deep down in my gut that like something bad's gonna happen. Whether she gets hurt, kidnapped, whatever.
Right.
But obviously she gets woken up because apparently there's just gunshots flying around in this hotel.
That last
about
shot
that?
with her just standing there with the blood splattered on her.
Chills.
Yeah.
Again, horrible day.
For everybody.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't really want to do drugs tonight, but these guys talking me up to the hotel. Gets to the hotel, they're like, and then 5 seconds later, she has blood all over her
With
face.
the gunshots, I was a little confused for 1 second because I thought that the two friends for a second were shooting at each other. I don't think they were.
No.
But it all went very quick.
It was very, it was very quick.
I don't know. That's why I want to get some clarification because I didn't know why they were beating him up.
They were trying to. All I know is they were trying to. He had a lot of. I think it was more drugs, and they knew that, so they were trying to steal the drugs. Is that what, or steal whatever he had?
I was completely lost because
maybe I'm.
I think
you guys. If you guys know at home, comment in the chat.
Yeah, please.
Yes, because I'm completely lost because when I first saw it, as soon as she got out of her trance or whatever. He was already on the floor and they were already talking and, there was a lot of other gunshots going on. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then they didn't talk about it more. They were kind of like, this is our chance to get away. And I was like, what's your chance?
Yeah.
What do you
when
mean?
she tried to leave, he was like, this is our chance. You're in this with us.
Yeah.
What? What are you doing?
Yeah. Exactly.
Fill me in.
I missed it completely. But according to Macy Riley here in the chat, apparently it's not an English accent. So I don't know. If you guys know where she is, I would like to know.
Well, she's living in London, though. She is living in London.
So maybe she's from somewhere else in Europe, and maybe
Nordic. She's Nordic.
Okay, that makes more sense. I could see that.
Yeah. But they are in London.
Okay, so thank you.
Good catch.
Thank you,
for
Macy.
the comment.
Yeah, he said he's very good with accents. So,
very nice.
Thank you. But yeah, so that was it for her. I was like, okay, so where do you go from there? Oh, or it's already to black. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Quite the way to leave us in a pilot episode of that.
I was literally like, I looked. It was one of those moments where I'm watching Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And I accidentally bumped the mouse, and I see, there's like 4 minutes left. I didn't know it was 4 minutes of credits.
You thought, you were like, we're gonna get a little something after this.
And she's like,
that's an understandable
credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They're just trying to reel you in there. Yeah, I just did that. I did. But she's from Iceland. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
There it is.
Thank you. Look at this.
Okay, the slicked back hair dude had drugs and money. He's a drug dealer, so they were stealing his stash and all his money. Thank you, GY and Pretty
Thanks,
Duchess.
guys.
And
I was making pizza rolls. That's what I was doing.
Oh, were you? I was eating chocolate covered almonds.
There you go.
I knew you guys were doing both those things.
Connected. Worst day ever.
Just saying.
Worst day
Just
ever.
saying.
I had a headache yesterday, so that's probably because of you.
I get migraines a lot, and I had
apologize
myself
for that.
reflecting back saying, oh my god.
I do apologize for the music. It was,
I knew it.
I like it kind of.
I thought it was my neighbor. How dare you? But so next we obviously have our German safecracker Wolfgang.
Wolfgang.
Yeah. Wolfgang, who of course we open up to him
at the funeral.
At the funeral. It was his father's funeral,
yes.
Correct? Okay. Yeah. So we.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
I totally missed that because it looks like he had. I don't know if that was his best friend who also had slick back hair. Apparently, everyone's got slick back hair.
Yeah, it's quite a thing. Theme of the show: slick back hair.
I know that his friend or brother or whoever, that guy who had no hair, was kind of a meanie pants.
Yeah, I think that's his brother. I took it as it's his brother.
I took a brother or uncle.
Some sort of relative.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm gonna crack daddy's safe, deal with it. And I was like, okay, that's the great thing to talk about.
And also gonna go like pee on his grave.
Second Netflix show for someone to House of Cards also did
that's
that.
right.
Mm-hmm. It was so funny because I was watching it with my roommates and I was like, oh great, he's gonna pee on his dad's grave. And they're like, what? Why would they say? They're like, what? Why would you
think that?
I was like,
and they're like, are you guys connected?
No, because
how did you?
Right? I told him to do it. No, but it was because of the way that the aunt was talking to him, the uncle who was just like, this is your dad's funeral. He wanted you to be here, but not like that, but you know what I mean. Like he was super proud of you, blah 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 blah. This is your dad. Go pay your respects.
Yeah.
So as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, he's gonna do something to defile the grave, and he did. And my roommates were like, what? And I was like, it's obviously you can tell he wasn't exactly like sad that
Right,
his dad
you could see
died.
they all of them didn't really have an emotion on
No,
this.
they were
so
all
you could
trying to
see how
figure
they
out where
felt.
their next heist was coming from.
Yeah. And it was I mean, when they zoomed into his dad's face, like the specific photo, whatever they used,
Oh,
that
that
it
hurt.
felt like he was just staring at
Oh
you.
yeah.
I was
Oh yeah.
like, wow, this is. Someone
That made
said
it more
the
real.
guy with no hair is his cousin.
Okay, that's what I
Cousin.
thought.
Yeah.
Relative.
That would explain. He has a bit of a thicker accent too. So
He
that-
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Just saying.
that was interesting, and of course we find out that his friend obviously helps him make keys. That was pretty freaking cool.
So they're
Yeah.
they're like a team.
yeah, they're a total
they're
team. Well, the two of them are a team. Obviously, the other one they're competing against.
and competing so much that they were so scared when he would come in that he would kill them. So
I
clearly,
mean,
there's a lot
it
of
makes
tension.
sense. He seemed like again.
Yeah.
I can't curse, so a big meanie pants.
a grouchy person.
A grouchy meanie pants. If I usually do like vlogs and like periscopes after when I watch a show, I'll give you my full.
Is that when you want to mention?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Sometimes it slips for me
Okay.
on air, and it
Does
will.
it?
Yeah, I've gotten myself into a few.
Nicholas Grava.
You know,
I think
vulgar.
it'll
you
be
know?
okay.
Vulgar.
I hope so.
Isn't that the
it'll be
face
okay.
of someone who's just so
Vulgar.
vulgar? Look at that face. Look at it.
Oh shucks.
But I loved how he was. I didn't understand how safe cracking works, so I was that nerd and I looked it up,
Mm-hmm.
and how he had to, because I was always like, what are they listening for? I feel like it's just a bunch of clicks.
right?
Oh.
That was crazy how she was. I think she was reading, or no, she was listening
And
to
she
music
could-
and she can hear the click. Oh,
Yeah.
that would drive
Or when he
me.
was hearing the sirens from
Yeah.
Will, right?
yeah.
Was Will?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love how they do that. It's not
Yeah.
so bad to the point where it's super jarring. It's just very subtle, and you're like,
What is that clicking?
Yeah.
it was crazy.
There
I
was a
like,
lot. What was it? The thunder. The
Yeah,
other.
Lightning, thunder and lightning.
Our Indian
Yeah.
wife to be, she was, she was just like, I heard rain.
He's
It's
like, do I need the umbrella? He's like, you don't need
It's
it.
sunny
First
out.
of all, you're like an inch from outside. Turn around. I'd
That's
say,
what I was
first of
gonna
all.
say. I was like, look, just look. That's all you really just look.
sweetie, turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
sunlight. But she was like looking at the wall the whole time. I'm like, no, it's around the wall.
Oh my god.
We'll get to that. It's okay. But yeah, and
Safe cracking though. What an
yeah,
interesting
apparently,
thing.
yeah, you have to listen to like 3. I don't know the actual term for it off the top of my head, but you have to listen to 3 actual,
Yeah.
like metal. It sounds pretty much like a hard hitting metal when you
Okay.
know that you've cracked it pretty much. And I was like, that's cool. But that's what he was listening for. I love how he got so frustrated that he was just like, I'm gonna sit on the couch and watch
What
American
was
Life.
that?
I was like, what is he watching? And I loved how his friend was just kind of like, well, she's not gonna win.
Yeah, yeah.
I
She's
was
not
like,
gonna win. Her
how-
eyes are too close together.
I like when he's staring and he's like, it calms me.
Yes.
Like, wow.
I was like,
He's over there
okay.
like, oh, good safe, God. It calms me.
It's you know,
yeah.
this, just calming
There's
the
like
beast.
people coming
apparently.
to kill you.
Well, yeah, that was.
Last thing I'm doing is watching some knockoff American
Yeah.
Idol.
I was like,
I can't get the safe. Anybody want to watch Real Housewives?
Ooh, good episode.
I thought his friend was just gonna sit on the couch with him, like, all right.
Well, the friend was at first like, "What are you doing?" And then at one point, he was kind of just sitting there watching it. If I was the friend there, I'd be like, "Dude, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? Like, no."
Off.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, thank God for this singing contest. Am I right? But yeah, it seemed kind of, but it shows you that he does kind of have a softer side, and that flashback that brought me back.
Oh man.
I felt so bad where she was like,
Oh, go.
come on, sing with me.
Now, wait a second.
What?
He likes the singing show. That was a flat. Does he want to be a professional singer?
I-
Is this something we will see?
Is the DJ
Whoa.
gonna give him a track to let? No, I doubt it.
I highly
No, but
with your predictions.
yeah, very
these are the
accurate.
things in like episode 12 we go, yes.
Probably actually
See?
no.
We got a soundtrack, guys.
But that was hard when his dad stood there and was just laughing.
I would have.
Yeah.
It's funny. I would have rather him just walk out.
Oh my
I would have been totally fine with that.
gosh.
But the fact that he
Oh, yeah.
stood there in the I love how the spotlight was mostly on him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just laughing away. I was just like, oh, okay, now I know why you peed on his grave. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was trying to
jerk.
figure out, I'm like, he looks like he's probably like, what, elementary, probably 5th grade. This is a big moment for him, and you're just gonna,
Massive.
yeah, and just laugh at him.
That hurt that really
I felt
did.
bad that the teacher was kind of like, I don't know what to do about this.
I
So
wanted him-
continue singing?
Yeah, yeah.
Take him off the stage.
I was
What
just
are you
gonna say,
doing?
maybe move on to the next song.
She's like, okay.
uh,
I know your dad's laughing at you, but just please Just keep singing.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Just tune them out.
It's like,
with
I'm
your
pretty
singing.
sure the teacher was in cahoots with the dad. Like, they were timing out when he was going to stand up and laugh at him or something. Because she took too long.
She did take
That was
too
a long opportunity for
I
a
would have
teacher
been
to wait
like,
for it.
so band?
Yeah,
play
we're
them
like
off.
1, 2, nothing, let's go, bring
Yeah.
it in. You know, that would
Yeah.
be me.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
goodness.
you know, I've been in choir for a really long time, like since I was like a kid. So usually when a kid is frozen in fear when they're trying to sing, usually the teacher will just start singing, or
Right,
she'll ask one of the the band to start
Yeah.
playing. But she was just kind of like, I'm gonna wait until you do it. I ain't moving.
She's like, I forgot the song. Here we go.
I know these 2 notes. Help me out.
Yeah.
But that was a giant. Yeah, I'm trying to see if maybe singing is part of that. But
Yeah.
going a little further back, did anybody see that maybe the DJ and our cop might have a
Get together.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a tiny love interest. Just
When
a
they
tiny
when they
one.
were in the church, what is that? Was it when the,
I think it was.
It looked like
the-
a
yeah.
like a warehouse, like a church, something like that.
I could see that. I could see
just-
some tension. Going
Also,
on.
because he's like, he's like an American cop.
Right.
You know?
he's your
And
leading
she
man
so
type
wants to
right
go to
there.
America.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
comes in.
And
oh.
it seemed like out of all of them, he would be the one to take care of her and protect her, not
Yeah.
like our creepy slick back guy.
Oh, you don't think?
No.
You're not getting that vibe.
I'm not getting that vibe at all.
Person who saves kids, drug lord.
I'm gonna have that noise in my head forever. It's gonna haunt me in my dreams, and then you guys will hear it later.
Yeah, I will.
But that was very interesting to see. But I love how it kind of snapped him back and like, I'm gonna prove my dad wrong. I'm gonna crack the safe
And
that
it
you
worked,
died for,
yeah.
and he did it. And is it weird that I was hoping that there was money in there, not really tiny diamonds?
Yeah, would have been a little bit more.
But I mean, diamonds are.
Or at least
Diamonds are
bigger
cool, but, like,
diamonds.
it's always, yeah.
They're
Thank
like
you.
chocolate-
Sorry.
They're like chocolate chip
But
size.
like, what is that? We got half a carat? I don't know
You
what
do
this
have to
is.
admit, though, you do have to admit
What?
when you're watching a movie or a show and they open up a safe and it's a diamond the size of your face, you're like, okay, because that's possible.
Put a gold brick in there. Something appealing.
There you go. Cash.
Cash.
I would have been fine if it was like the diamonds,
A
some
Tesla.
cash.
Yeah.
Maybe a Tesla.
A Tesla.
Why not?
Something.
A diamonds, cash, a Tesla. Yeah, I think that
It
would
would've
be.
been so
They were
great.
very underwhelming. I will admit.
I couldn't see what they were at first. When he opened it,
they
I
were
was
like
like,
little peas.
I'm telling you, they're like little Hershey, like tinier than
Okay.
Hershey Kisses.
Also, time his watch
Oh
had
yeah,
gone.
that was way past an hour.
His watch had gone. The people were walking in, and they both were just like, "We did it."
Yeah,
We
they
did it."
took time to
Okay,
congratulate
half a
themselves.
second, fine, but that was like a hard 5 count.
I half expected them to be like, we did it. Let's watch another episode of the singing competition. We have 45 seconds. We
Yeah.
can
It was
go
a
through
little
it.
bit too relaxed.
Yeah.
It did seem like
Move
time
your
stopped for them.
butt.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, stop the world. He opened the safe, and I was like, no, the threat
They're
is coming up.
downstairs.
Yeah,
You ain't jumping out
They're
the window.
You will
gotta-
die.
like Mission
Yeah.
Impossible style, just like,
Yeah.
oh, out the window.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I was just kind of like, okay, guys, we got it. Get up, go,
yeah,
go.
put them in it. They're like, oh.
It was so weird, but I mean, they got away.
Yeah, they did.
They did, but
By the
as much.
And you could see the other guy was bringing in a big drill, so he
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
doing it. He wasn't doing it like the old school.
No,
like,
he was like,
craftsman
no,
way.
I'm going to break
Yeah.
this safe, and I'm going to take everything in it.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
very excited to see what happens when he.
When he opens it and there's zil. That's why in the funeral scene they were like, can't wait to see his face. Not that they get to see it because they're not there.
Well,
but-
they'll probably see it later because then he'll be super upset. But I'm
Ah.
also scared that if they do see his face, it'll probably mean that he's going to die. Well, not him die, but like he's
Yeah.
going to beat them up or do something really
Yeah.
drastic.
I
But
could see that.
I thought that was very interesting. I can't wait to find out more
Someone
about
said,
him.
hey, diamonds are a girl's best friend, so I'm not disappointed.
Yeah. I was trying to think of who we should do next.
I think we should do, we should go to Lito.
I think so.
And then after Lito, I have a little special thing to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, Lito is our actor who.
Which, by the way, when they first cut you see him getting his gun, you see the blood
Oh,
dripping.
yeah.
That we got a tease of that, and then we got like it did something else. Then we came back to him, and I'm like, who is he about to kill? No, he's an actor.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna
No,
kill you, Padre.
as soon as he was walking in that, not the first scene, but like as soon
Yeah.
as he came back and he was still walking in the church after that long, and I saw his holster, I was like, is he doing a telenovela?
No,
he
you
doing...
did not.
I have
kidding
witnesses.
me?
No.
I have witnesses.
I'm calling BS on that.
I actually, like,
Where
you can
are
ask
your
all my-
witnesses?
They're at home.
Are
Probably
they in the
watching
chat
us.
roll? Are they tweeting? No? Okay, then.
Well, anyway, I
That
thought
Did any of you guys think that?
Wow.
I thought it
maybe-
was or a movie. That was my next bet, that he was on a movie set. He didn't look like a normal cop in Mexico City. Mexico City people don't wear that I know of.
I've
I've
never been. So I,
You look, no,
like,
I can't say that I know.
he looked like Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That's what it looked like to me. That's what it like the way that like his pants were, the holster was embroidered like that.
I mean, I guess I just
happen.
didn't expect that kind of storyline in this show. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
I was
me
hoping
neither.
that there would be someone who was in the entertainment field just to mess with them. I think it would be
I
really
think
funny.
this guy's an AfterBuzz host. I've seen him before.
Probably.
Lito.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see him, talking about Real Housewives or something like that.
Absolutely.
No, but it was when he walked in and the Padre's on his knees, and I was sitting there going, "Is he gonna kill this? Is he gonna kill a priest? Is that
Yeah,
what's happening right
yeah.
now?" And of course, the nun, who looked like she didn't look like a nun at all.
No,
I was
that's
like,
true.
I will
okay.
say that.
That's
I
true.
will say that.
Yeah, because when she came out, she was in full makeup, and I was like, "Wait a minute, are we
Yeah.
doing Sister Act, but in Mexico? What's happening here?" But yeah, and then she hugged him, and I was like, "Oh my God, we're totally on set right now," and yeah, there it was.
I was just so sucked into the drama beforehand that I just thought it was going to keep going and going. So I really didn't even take a step back to even examine any of that.
I'm weird. I like to look at everything because I always think that every single detail will mean something. That's how I.
I'm
see it.
simple.
it depends on
I
the
just
show
go
for
for the
me.
ride of the show.
Yeah.
It depends on the show for me. Sometimes I'm like, why does he have that pen? Other times
That's-
I'm
no,
like,
that's-
who is that?
First episodes, I
Like-
take it as I see it. Once I see, like,
Yeah.
as the season goes on, then I can start to get the vibe of other people, but
I'm
never.
terrible.
Very true.
Yeah.
I'm terrible to watch TV shows. I'm like, "Ooh, did you guys see that? See what, Alexis?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Wow, someone else said that they got the telenovela vibe also.
Boom!
Wow.
Thanks,
I think,
guys.
I'm sorry, I think Pretty Duchess and you are liars, so I'm just gonna call y'all both
I
out.
think that too.
Thank you.
You and I.
I
We're,
thought it
we're
was-
connected. These
I
guys
thought it
not
was
so
like
much.
the Wiggles was about to happen or something.
Wiggles just come out and be like, "Hola,"
Yeah.
and they're just gonna do a number.
What
But
else
yes,
happened with Lito though? I'm trying to think.
What'd you say?
Oh, he was in the trailer.
yeah,
right?
doing his.
He was bumping and grinding.
He was.
Boy, he was bumping and grinding.
At first, I didn't know what he was doing. At first,
Well,
when-
because we had the scene beforehand,
well,
Which I don't
which
wanna
we,
jump.
We'll talk about that
okay.
after.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, obviously, as soon as after that scene all happened, where I was just like, what? Like, I didn't need it.
because he was doing his lines in the mirror
and
to
he was
his,
sweating and he seemed uncomfortable.
to his
Yeah.
headshot, which, you know,
Hey man,
Yeah,
whatever,
I guess
whatever,
it was
whatever works. If it ain't
a weird-
broke, don't fix it.
well, it wasn't working. He was
At the
Yeah.
time, because he was obviously distracted.
also
because
having
he
a
was
bad day, and because he was
Oh,
having
God.
a bad day. Couldn't get his
Hashtag
lines.
having a bad day.
Sense8. Like Sense8 problems. But like, yeah, he was sitting there. At first I thought he was like banging his head into like the counter, and then I
Yeah.
realized his body was more against it, and I was like, is he humping the cabinet?
yeah.
Lito.
Interesting technique.
What are you doing?
Lito.
I mean,
Whatever
certainly
works.
nothing I've seen before.
I mean, we don't know what people do in their trailers.
It's true.
We
yeah, it's
don't
true.
know what people do in their trailers. So then he gets interrupted by the nun, which I wish I knew her name.
I don't think we knew her name.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Um,
I mean, no. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
lost
we don't know
cause.
her name. But
It's okay.
she comes in and just like
she-
puts the moves on.
Yeah, yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, he has to take her up on that offer. She's pretty.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
offering.
Which made me. I was like, because she was like, "Oh, it must be a lucky girl," and he didn't say anything, and there was just this
It
weird.
was so awkward.
Oh.
So I got the vibe. I don't know. I'll talk about it in predictions. I just feel
Talk
like
about it. Save it for predictions
Yeah.
because I actually think I agree with you.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay. I'm excited because I didn't take anything from it. I was just kind of like,
that's weird.
what?
You're in the position. You're ready to rock and roll.
I know, and you're just like,
yeah.
yeah, and obviously he was ready. 'cause
You could
poor
use a
guy-
helping
Yeah.
hand, for lack of a better word, at the moment.
It's you,
I
Nicholas.
didn't mean to.
Has a wall.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I was. And that was kind of it for him. I kind of wanted to know more, but at the same time,
we'll see more for sure. But
of course. But I was kind of
That was one thing that kind of aggravated me throughout the thing, is they were all such great characters, and I know they're going to have such a great plot, but I wanted to see more of each one of them.
But at the same time, it was the first episode,
Yeah,
so it's kind of hard to sit
absolutely.
there and like. But I felt like we really dwelled on our DJ and our cop. That's why I was kind of like,
jeez.
oh my word.
That's how upset we're getting.
Yeah. But I mean, I just hoped that he was gonna put the moves on her, and he didn't. He didn't do it. Yes.
Is that
These moves.
Do many people put the moves?
I don't know. At first, I mean, that's why I thought at first he was dancing, and obviously that was not the dancing moves I was thinking of. So
the innocent mind of the.
apparently so. I mean, my parents were in the room too, so it was kind of like, oh, he's totally dancing.
What a good dancer! What a good dancer!
God.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, but so we have
we
Sunba,
got?
Kala, Nomi, and some more.
We have four more.
Before
Oh
we
my
get
God.
to that,
We are
oh
halfway
wow,
through.
this should be called the Sense8 Hour Show. Before we get to that, I'm gonna tell you guys about something very exciting, which is called Dance Battle America, which I think we're all excited about. ABC's newest competition special. So our very own founder here at AfterBuzz TV, Maria Menounos, and Juliana Huff from Dancing with the Stars, comes ABC's special Dance Battle America.
I'm so excited.
I watch them every
You guys have
holiday
seen it too?
special.
Me too.
Yeah.
They go all out.
Yeah.
So during the holidays, last couple years, I think it's been.
Yeah.
The two of them have been doing this. And once the challenge took off on Instagram and Twitter and all these things, a bunch of people started getting in. Kate Hudson, Amber Riley. And so now it's becoming a thing.
I know.
And they're challenging all of you in America to battle it out for the chance to fly here to LA and
Where we
compete
are.
on this very show. Now, if you want the chance to dance on a network television show, I don't think that I quite have the moves,
You don't have
but
to get-
you probably do.
Come on, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Go to Dance
A little bit of this, a
Battle.
little bit of that. Oh dear.
Go
I don't
to
think I do either.
www.dancebattleamerica.casting.com for more information on how to submit a video. And don't forget to post about it on social media using the hashtag DanceBattleABC. I'm very excited about
Me
this.
too.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be so
Looks like
cool.
so much
And
fun.
Are you guys going to be submitting?
Now here's the
I'll-
thing.
I'll do one with you,
I
Nicholas.
fully
Yes.
expect to not win, but I'll do one. We should
That,
do
oh no,
one.
me too. I
Yeah,
expect
I'm
to
on the
not win,
same boat.
but I'm doing
one.
it.
Do we want to do? Let's do one. Yeah. All right. So
So-
let's hit on to what is it? Sunbak now?
I feel so bad for her. This is our our Korean,
Korean, yeah.
financial advisor who I felt. I mean, I did know that that obviously Korea a woman in a certain title, you have your place and stuff. I just didn't like the way that he said it.
No.
Like he was like,
No.
oh, women aren't supposed to close, they open. And I was like, oh, you table
Very-
flip.
yeah. No,
Well, did you see
absolutely.
her? You see her like squeeze the fist.
See, I couldn't tell if that was her anger or if that was anger that she was feeling from the frustration from
Oh,
our...
if this is gonna be that type of show,
I don't know.
this
I
is
was again, this is me
How can I?
overanalyzing everything.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know,
what to
but I have
say.
a feeling she's gonna be. I think she's gonna possibly be one of my favorites. I don't
Really?
even know why.
Yeah. I'm on the same boat.
Because she seems like she has some pent up energy that she's getting ready to.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously she was doing Tai Chi in the beginning.
She's too
She's
zen
like,
right now. She's
Yeah.
a little too zen, and I'm waiting for her to just.
Yeah.
I just felt bad for her.
What about when the chicken just on her desk?
Oh my god.
That
I'm
freaked me out.
sorry.
That's what I.
Hell no. I don't mess with birds. I don't do that. If that ever another instance when like you don't just stay seated and be like, oh, and now it's gone. No, you get up and you're like, I just had a chicken on my desk for a minute. Where is it? Wouldn't you guys, if a chicken just was here for a second, wouldn't you have more of a?
Yeah, I mean, it would be very clear.
You would just-
Like it's
like a human sound effect.
I hope that continues to happen. Like I
Yeah.
hope that that's the stuff we see more.
I
of.
loved that. I thought.
I mean,
it was
I
so
don't
cool.
like that specific one because, like I said, I'm not
Yeah,
a bird guy. But anything else, I guess I'll take in the show.
That was
Right.
crazy though, because that was just like he just tossed the chicken and just happened to land on her table. I was like, what? But
But again, I
you.
mean,
that
not,
that poor chicken though was just kind of like, what? What's happening?
Yeah.
And then just disappeared. Poor thing. And then of course we also have, speaking of our Van Damme driver.
Yeah.
Speaking of our chicken, is that I love how their vans have themes.
The Batman was it the other one? A
The
Batman?
Batman.
It looks
The
so
Bat
cool.
Van.
And they're like, we don't need a cape and armor. We don't need.
We don't need gadgets.
Yeah.
We're Van Damme, the greatest action star of all time. I was like, well, you're not wrong there.
What's kind
Van
of cool
Damme's
though,
awesome.
and this is I think a good example of that in the show, is that we're actually going to get seemingly a lot of looks at different like micro cultures, which is really neat.
Yeah, which I'm really glad that they're deciding to do.
It's such an aggressive thing from a standpoint of creating the show, writing the show, like that. It's not like you're just, okay, let's film for a couple months at Warner Brothers.
No.
Like, to plot that out, to really scout every location, how much crew, that's aggressive. And I think that's cool that Netflix would, I don't want to say take a risk, but also just jump in with that.
But and I also like that because not saying that it's like educational, but it definitely teaches the general public, whether we're here or all over the world, just a little taste of what the world actually really is, especially the fact that obviously it looks like his mother is very sick, and he's doing everything in his power to make money to help her out. And I just feel bad because I'm like, oh, that Van Damme bus is probably not going to be getting him much, and obviously it wasn't.
I mean, he felt like he was gonna have a good day when he left.
He did. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, God, I hope you don't die.
I was so scared he was gonna get hit by a car as soon as he walked out.
Oh my God.
That's where my mind goes.
No, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, and cue car.
Yeah, because he was too happy, and he was like,
he was way too happy.
Yeah, it's like, you don't leave your house like that.
No.
Apparently he does. Hey, looking positive, buddy. I like it. And then also we have, there's so many people. Okay. Oh, we have 2 left. Okay. So we have Kala, I think is her name. Who is our bride to be, who apparently, like we said, couldn't tell.
One that thinks it's raining off of sound, not visual.
So I'm a little worried about her, just a tad.
Slightly worried about Joe.
Do you hear the thunder, Father? No.
When she was hugging him, it started, and I thought she would be like, do you hear that?
No,
but that was me trying to prove my point, not just be like, oh, there it is again, but let's hug it out. Let's keep going.
I think she was kind of like, okay, maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we find out that she goes to the temple. I don't really know what to call it. I apologize. And she's praying because the fact that she does not...
She's not in love.
As soon as she did that, I was like, oh, she's not in love with her husband.
Yeah.
And there it is, which is very common with arranged marriages.
Great scene, though. I really liked that scene.
No, it was great. It was well shot, and I loved every minute of it.
The acting was really, really spot on.
She's going to be my favorite. I just like how quirky she kind of is.
I have to say...
Tina Desai, by the way, is the actress's name. Tina Desai. Yeah.
Hey, Tina.
I have to say, with most of the people, they all seem to have genuine good... would you say? Or like a good will, I would say.
Yeah.
One of them's taking care of his sick mother. The other one's the cop trying to do good. The DJ didn't want any of that like violence to be going on. She's like, why is that? I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a really big generalization.
I'm interested to see if they
have
were
a
chosen.
Yeah, that's what I guess I'm trying to get at. Is there a reason it's them?
Yeah.
That 8.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting. I would like to see the bad boy turn into good, which is our safecracker as well. So
that's
yeah, because he's the only one that technically is really muddled in crime, besides obviously our DJ who does drugs, but I think she's probably going to stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume from what she just saw.
I don't know, though, because
Seemingly
now
wants
that
to
she
get out.
saw that, I think she's going to take that as her, like, gateway in.
Yeah,
this
that's
is how
true.
I connect. This is how I make sense of things.
Well, actually, the one person who actually doesn't... who's pretty normal, I feel, is Nomi.
Nomi.
Our lesbian couple. I was really hoping it was I believe I can't remember if she's from Doctor Who. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
I forgot her name, but I was hoping it was gonna be her. But I mean, this group is pretty diverse as it is, so I was okay with it. But I loved her personality. It seemed like she would be the kind of like, not the wild child, but just the ridiculously strange one.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been really cool. But I like...
She seemed more the obvious choice.
Yeah, but I like that it wasn't her. It was kind of her more kind of cautious, timid, girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I loved how they met. That whole story really just...
Yeah.
It took my breath away.
So good.
Yeah, when she was crying, she's like, "Oh, don't listen to them. They're just, this and this and this." And she's like, "No, I'm crying."
No one's ever stood up for me before.
Again, another example of just a culture that we're gonna learn more about, I think, or at least see a little picture of, which is great.
And I like that was literally all 8 of them, but like that. After watching that scene, I was like, I'm going to love this show already.
Yeah.
Just the writing in general has got me hooked so far. Maybe not all the craziness of them being all connected. I couldn't remember if she was having anything. It seemed like she was mostly doing the powers to everybody else, but I don't think she was actually affected. Did anybody get that? I thought the pot brownie was going to mess with people, but it didn't really.
What happened?
Maybe we'll see.
That?
I don't think anything. I think we'll see maybe.
Like I feel like that's why I
two.
said she wasn't affected, and I don't think she really affected him except for the horniness with our actor.
Right.
That was about it.
When she was seeing the play, there was a
that was
glimpse of
also
Angel popped up on stage.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah.
also was like, whoa.
Again, another instance where you'd be like,
Is she
do you,
part of
do
the
you see
play?
that? Do you also see that?
I know, I think
a
she-
lot of people just keep it internal. Maybe that's a testament to them. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm like, share the world. Give me advice.
just like in the middle
Middle
of
of the show.
Ah!
Sir, that's a character. Oh,
Never mind.
Sorry. I thought I was seeing dead angels. Oh no! I could just
Oh my
never
gosh.
go to a play with Cameron.
oh no.
Because if he
It'd
sees
be
something on
horrible.
stage, he's just gonna stand up and just make a fool of himself.
As you should.
That's like me on an airplane. Seriously. Oof. I just get like so about
wired.
everything.
Oh no, I'm the
Oh, man.
opposite.
I'm ready for
I
sleep.
love flying. And I love turbulence.
Get
It
outta
makes me
here.
go to bed. It's the
love this.
weirdest
Get
thing.
outta here.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
so great.
They want to know who our favorite characters are.
Definitely.
It's too soon for me to pick a favorite at this point. I
So,
think.
well, the one that I'm definitely rooting for, just in general, that I like immediately connected to was not Nomi. Gosh, Kala.
I think that at the moment, my favorite might be Riley.
Yeah.
Because she was the most kind of intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I think, but I'm really interested in Riley and Will. Them two.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
they're going to be the first
Them
two
two
to
together.
continue the connection. So I'm really excited to see where that goes.
I'm hoping that it's not
Absolutely.
just drugs that's going to connect them, though. I hope it's something else.
I think it'll be something else.
But I'm
Yeah.
also really intrigued to find out because they both found the location together,
Yeah.
which I would like to talk more in predictions. And if you guys are in the chat, please send your predictions so we can read them out because I would like to discuss this because I don't really know where to go with the show because we're not binge watching it. So,
Yeah.
but I really want to see how he found the mattress, he found the box of drugs, and they connected for a split second, and kind of just that was it.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm really intrigued to see if he's going to further research about Angel or Angelica or whoever,
Yeah.
or if he's just gonna just act crazy and be like, I saw it. I saw a girl. She said she was from London. And
I
never been
think
to
as
America."
a cop, I'm going to guess his nature is to pursue it more.
Yeah.
I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and I feel like the
Inquisitive
partner's
mind.
gonna get in the way.
Where
a lot.
did the blood go? Where is all that she blew her head off on the, what was there?
I think it would have been more. I think it would have been more not confusing, but
That's
more
it.
intimidating if there was like a little bit of blood there, just to be like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
That when he was like feeling out the mattress,
I thought
a
it was
bit,
gonna be-
I thought he was like gonna feel like blood deep down. I didn't know.
Or like an arm would pop
Yeah.
out or something. Like,
She was just gonna
Nightmare on
lean
Elm
forwards
Street where
again.
just blood shoots out
Yeah.
of the mattress. Like what?
Here, there.
yeah, she was.
But anyway, I definitely want to dabble into our predictions now because
Sounds good.
Okay,
Holy
let's do
smokes.
it.
I can't.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
There it is.
Her name was Martha. Martha Jones.
Martha Jones. Yeah, Martha
Ooh,
Jones.
Yeah.
who's that?
She was in Doctor
Doctor Who.
Oh,
Named Martha.
oh.
Thank you. My word.
Such a good one.
Yeah.
Predictions.
You
Do
guys have to go first.
Y'all, what?
Yeah, I
you want
started.
me to go or do you want to go?
Now I'll go quick. I'm just gonna
Please.
say Will and Riley. I think they're gonna be the first two to put pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be them. I'm interested to see how they do start to communicate with each other or
Yes.
call on each other once they build that forwards. Leto is the one person that I do have a strong prediction about. I do think that there's gonna be more in his. I don't know if he is.
Say it.
I don't know.
Say
Well,
it.
either he's in some sort of very, very serious relationship, or I think he
With a
could,
man.
Yeah, I think he could be gay.
Oh,
or
so
he's,
did I. I thought the same thing.
You did?
Yeah.
Or maybe he's in a very serious relationship, but. Did he say? Because when she said, "Oh, it must be some like a really special girl," I didn't remember. Like, did he say that,
He
or did
didn't
she
say
just
that he was-
infer that?
No,
I
he
think
said
she-
someone special.
That's it. And as soon as he said that,
yeah.
Okay.
so as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, he's.
And then he was
probably
just
gay.
like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
what
he
is
didn't
what
seem
did-
like, I don't know, he
was
didn't
a-
seem like he was very intrigued. He seemed very apologetic.
Yeah.
But not like, oh, tempted, you know?
No, yeah,
know.
he did. I mean, he looked like he was contemplating it, but at the same time, he's kind of like.
I think it was like 50% of him was intrigued. The
Yeah.
upper
And
50
also because
not
he
so
was-
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the.
Yeah, because I mean, not saying that like, oh, any straight man would have totally did it. I'm just
No.
saying, you know, at the same time, it seemed like he was
Absolutely.
more hesitant.
There was more of a
than-
reason than just like, no, I don't want to right here.
Yeah,
It seemed
there was
diff-
definitely something very hidden. So
The
yeah, I
wheels
was
were
thinking
turning.
either he was married or
Yeah.
that he does have a male counterpart.
Yeah.
So
Those are my predictions. I
Yeah.
think, right? Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
I say I have the same prediction about Leto. I
be
think that
very
we're gonna
interesting.
see Sunbak like blow up. Mm-hmm. Maybe episode 3.
Okay.
That's a good prediction.
4. I don't think right away next
No,
week, but
probably not.
like sometime soon.
Do you think the guy that said that to her might get payback? Well, like not
Maybe.
payback on her. I mean, she will get payback on
I
him.
think she'll get payback on
Them.
yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
specifically, but the people that have been sort of putting her in that position.
I would
Yeah.
agree. And then I think Wolfgang. I think that he has some kind of singing aspirations. Like I'm not gonna.
You
give
really
that
do
up.
that? I'm debating if that's a
do.
theme. I don't
because
know.
there was 2 things that pointed to it.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that because in my prediction, not to be like super cheesy or anything, but I feel
Go
like
for it.
if he's traveling or if he's in like a sad moment, I feel like he's one of those people that would like sing to like make himself feel better. Not like full, not like
As people are handcuffing him being robbed, he's like, Ave Maria.
Oh my God, not like that. It's more just like, you know, like I can picture him like if he's like maybe he had to run out of his house or something like that and he's like in bed and he kind of just sings like a lullaby like his mom probably did. I don't know. I'm weird.
That is mom. Oh, no,
yeah,
that makes
like-
more sense. I thought you meant like some kind of.
No, not a Glee or a Les Miserables
Yeah.
moment. I meant just like something like he'll have a rolling, like something like that. But
Yeah.
no, I was thinking of something like he got the singing from somebody. Obviously, it's not his
That-
dad,
yeah.
but like his mother, and then he
I
would
could
sing
see
the
that.
lullaby
To
as he's
connect.
thinking that, and then one of the other people will hear the lullaby.
and they'll be like, I heard.
And then
That's
maybe if they
interesting.
meet at one point, maybe
They'll be like, you were the one. I've heard that. How do you know that?
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
I just feel like we're gonna get more stuff where they
Beyonce.
connect and they'll be able to talk about it later. You like Queen Bey too? Like, we're obviously connected. I don't know, but as I can't wait to see the rest of the show and
so
just
excited.
it's so crazily intriguing. Please, guys, tweet us your predictions, your thoughts, anything
Absolutely.
like that.
Yes.
Here at AfterBuzz TV, iTunes, SoundCloud, podcast1.com. We really want to hear your thoughts, guys. Where can these awesome people find you?
You guys can find me at Nicholas Grava, Twitter and Instagram.
You can find me at the only camshaft, Twitter and Instagram, #ABTV Sense8.
And you can find me where all Alexis Torres are sold at atorres890. Thanks, guys, again for hanging out with us. We will see you guys next week for episode 2.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.